Hello, everyone, and welcome to Results Mastery Live. It's great to have you here. Thank you ever so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I often tell people that their time is their most valuable asset, and you've given me a little bit of it today in order to hopefully help you in terms of growing your business in 2024, or at least making it better and more successful. And that's what we'll be talking about. So it's great to have you along. Thank you for your time. I do these things pretty much every day. I'm going to calm down a little bit towards Christmas, but I'll be doing them pretty much. I think we've got 4 scheduled for next week. So covering different things. If you've got anything you'd like me to cover, by all means, drop me a message and let me know. Other than that, let's crack on. So just to clarify what I'm doing here, I'm live on LinkedIn, I'm live on Facebook, I'm live on YouTube as well. And what that enables me to also do is to go live on my podcast. So because I'm live on my podcast gets streamed to Amazon Music, to Apple, to iTunes, to about 30 other streaming sites. And so I get round about 7,000 to 8,000 people, which just blows my mind. I'm getting 7,000 people to my events. I used to do lots of webinars, and if I got 7, I got more than that. But if I got 20 or 30 or 40 people, I was really pleased with that result. But now streaming, I'm getting significantly more. And if you want to know about that, by all means, give me a shout, drop me a message, and be very happy to have a chat to you about that. However, that's not the purpose of today. The purpose of today is to talk about how to make 2024 better than 2023. Well, one thing is for sure, and I've been saying this for a long time, and that is, if you always do what you've always done, then you'll always get what you've always got. Try saying that when you've had a few. But I'm actually here to tell you that that's not necessarily going to be true in 2024. We all know, it's tough right now. It's been tough for quite a while, probably going back to before COVID, when things were a little bit different. COVID hit, changed the world. Since then, we're all thinking, COVID's over, great. And then what happens? This economic recession kicks in just when we thought it couldn't get any worse. And so times have been tough. And, not for everybody. Some industries, if you're in the, in an industry in insolvency, for example, you've been quite busy because a lot of businesses have gone insolvent. It's not all doom and gloom, but for a lot of people, times have been tough. So what we want to talk about is what you're going to do differently in order to become more successful, to leverage your effectiveness of what you're doing, to grow your business, and really take it to the next level. And that's a little bit of a cliche, I think, but I do believe, because I've been doing this for 28 years, this being helping businesses to become more successful. I do believe that there is a great potential out there to become more successful. I really do. And I want to help you to try to do that. So if you think about how to do that, it all starts with, I don't want to grow my business, increase turnover until and unless I can make it enough profit. There's an old saying in marketing and in business that, income is vanity, profit is sanity. And if you grow your business from 500,000 to 1 million turnover, but your costs are 1.2 million, you're not going to stick around in that business that long, before somebody starts saying, whoa, you're losing £200,000 a year. Hopefully you've got a good accountant who'll tell you that up front. But, it's so incredibly important, this thing called profit. In fact, I remember listening years ago to a guy called Dan Bradbury saying the purpose of a business is to make a profit. I'm sure he wasn't the first to say that, and I know it's absolutely true. So if the purpose of a business is to make a profit, then there are only 2 ways of doing that. One is to increase sales, and the other is to reduce costs. I love this. I don't know why it's happened, but every time I go like that, loads of balloons appear. How cool is that? Nothing to do with me. I've not set that up, but do you know what? I quite like it, especially as it's nearly Christmas. But anyway, so if we get more profit, if we want to get more profit, we've got to reduce costs, and there's something you can save. You can save 5%, 10%, perhaps even 20%. But for real leverage, if you really want to grow, then the way is to increase sales. You got to increase sales. And that's my message, really. You need to spend more time focusing on increasing sales. Because I think, if I look at all the businesses that I've worked with in the past and still work with, and I'd even say my own business, we don't make enough offers. That's the biggest problem with us. And we don't make enough offers to enough people, and if we could make more offers and we could improve the conversion rate of those offers, do you think you'd do any better in your business? Absolutely you would. If you're connected, if you've got an email database of 2,000, and that's the prime way that you win business, by marketing to that email database, and that produced in 2023, let's say, I don't know, £200,000 worth of business, and you managed to work out how to double that database in the first 3 months of 2024, then is there a reasonable chance that 200 grand could become 400 grand? Now, if you also became better at writing copy and following up on your emails, do you think there's a glimmer of hope that might be even higher? It absolutely would. If we can improve our conversion rates, that could be the number of inquiries we get, or how many of those do we convert. I was talking to a lady the other day who had a business, and she was talking about, wanting to grow it. And she said, at the moment, I convert about 20%. I said, well, it'd be great to get more leads, but you're not doing too bad with leads. What you're not doing well with is conversion of those leads. If we could improve from 20% to 40%, which is only 20% more, that'd double your business in the next year. She went, yeah, you know what? You're right, Steve, it would. So that's what we're trying to focus on with her right now, instead of focusing on, or posting on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever. How can she improve in that key area? Because that key area is massive. So anyway, if you think about, doing more to more people, and then improving what you do, you probably won't go far wrong. But I just want to talk to you about a few more things. So firstly, the 3 ways of growing a business. Now, I learned this many, many years ago, probably 28, 29 years ago, when I was listening to a guy called Jay Abraham. Jay was acknowledged, and still is to this day, as one of the world's leading marketers. I believe he came up with this concept called the 3 ways of growing a business. The 3 ways are this. 1 is to get more customers. We all know that. We've got to get more customers. 2 is to increase the average transaction value, the average amount of money each customer spends when they buy from you. And number 3 is to increase the frequency of repurchase. In other words, to get them to come back more often and to stay longer. Those 3 ways. Now, if I asked you which one of those ways is the hardest to do, then I'm hallucinating that you're going to tell me it's much harder to sell to somebody new, Steve. To get a new customer, to sell to a stranger, is harder than it is to sell to somebody who already knows, likes, and trusts you. So which are you going to do? Well, the answer, again, for most people is to spend most of their time, effort, and money trying to get new customers. They're marketing on Facebook and Google and where, SEO and so on and so forth, and often neglecting this group of customers and a group of past customers that are, you know, much more likely to buy, and you know, the return on investment is much more effort. So if I look at a sort of supermarket metaphor, if you ran a supermarket or a restaurant or something like that, but it's the same for pretty much any business. What you got to do is you got to get more people in the door. That's the new customer bit. You got to get them to fill their baskets more, or with more expensive products and services. And then you've got to get that loyalty so that when I do need to go to the supermarket or the shop or the restaurant, I'm going to go to yours, not somebody else's. So that's the really important three things for you to focus on in 2023. So make more offers. Focus on your current customers, past customers, and people you've got a relationship with. That doesn't mean neglect the rest of it, by the way, because one of the biggest problems that we all have in small businesses is the word obscurity. I hear this all the time. I'm really good at what I do, but nobody knows about it. Well, why is that? Because I've not really done anything. You know, I post on LinkedIn once a week. You know, that's like saying I go down the gym once every 6 months. It literally is, you know, and I do 10 curls, you know, and I don't understand why I'm not fit. You're not doing enough. You're not putting enough time, money, and effort into it. And or you don't know enough. You know, when I started, it was reasonably simple. 28 years ago, I was writing letters, sticking them in envelopes, buying a database, sticking stamps on the envelopes, taking them down the post office, posting them out. I used to send out 1,000 letters. That got me 15 to 20 people onto a seminar. They paid me £200 each. And that was good enough to do it again and again and again and again. And that's how I started my business. Now, other people would do advertising and some would do telemarketing. But these days, it's a little bit like, you know, ice cream. You know, back in when I was a kid, we had 4 choices. You know, we had strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, and I can't even think of the other one, but we had one more, I'm sure. These days, you know, Ben and Jerry's came along, Haagen-Dazs, so on and so forth. We've got so much choice. And so in the world of marketing, you know, how many different ways could you market your business? I don't know whether you can read on that whiteboard behind me, but just looking on the left there's a list of about 7 or 8 things: social media, YouTube, adverts, blogs, live stream, webinars, email marketing. They're all the things that we do in order to get people to, I've called it there a video sales letter, but really it's any form of watching or listening to me like you're doing today, and then turning that into a meeting and turning, you know, that into a client. That's our stream of marketing. That's what we do. So, you know, my number one thing for you is to do more. I really do believe that, because, you know, even if you don't become better, just doing more. If you make more phone calls, you know, that's going to impact your business. You know, if you were rubbish on the phone and your phone was, "Hi, I'm Steve Mills. I do marketing. Are you interested in our services?" "No." "Oh, all right then." And hung up. And I made enough of those calls every day, 100, 150 calls. I think I'd win business, don't you? I really do. And that's rubbish, isn't it? You know, that's not being very good on the phone. So number one, we could make more calls. But number two, we want to improve the quality of those calls. We want to become better at them. And it's not just calls. It's posts on LinkedIn. It's emails campaigns that we put out. It's getting ourselves known and getting people to know, like, and trust me, my products, my services, and my company. And when I can do that, that's when my business is going to really take off. So that's the message I've got for you. You know, if you want help with this, I've been doing this for 28 years. I've worked with thousands of businesses in hundreds of industries. And I'm here to tell you that not all of them have succeeded. Some of them have, and those that have were the ones who took action. I've had loads of clients come on my LinkedIn training, and then I phone them up 3 months later. Guess what they've done? I was going to say, no, I won't swear, but nothing, right? Okay, they've done nothing, right? And then I had one guy phone me up 6 months later and said, as a result of your training, Steve, I wanted to tell you my company in the last 6 months has made £42 million. And I just wanted to thank you. And I said, I'm looking forward to the commission check. I think it got lost in the post. I don't know where it is, but I'm sure it's going to arrive any day. But seriously, you know, he took action. He said he followed what we did, and he made calls, and he got on the posting, and he started growing his database and did all the things that you should do on LinkedIn in order to grow your business. And it's the same with anything and everything. So what I'm telling you, just to finish off, is each and every element of your marketing, whatever it is you're doing, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, email, paid advertising, it could all be better. It could all produce better results for you and your business. And that's what I'm a specialist in. As I said, 28 years of doing it. You don't have to be that bright to notice what works and what doesn't. And the fact that I've spent all that time learning from the best marketing minds in the world, you know, I'm an unusual guy. I'm not what I'd call a normal business advisor. You know, I've spent a lot of time doing this, and I've learned from the best and most successful people in the world. And I bring that knowledge to you via my program that I call Results Mastery. So if you're any way interested, why don't we just have a chat? You know, I'm not going to give you a hard sell. I'm just going to explain what you get, tell you a little bit about it. And then if you want to, you can get yourself signed up, and we can make 2024 your best year ever. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've benefited. But most of all, I hope you do something to grow your business in 2024. Thanks very much.